who the wife of Pilate, the governor, was. The apocryphal book, the Gospel of Nicodemus, identifies her as Claudia Procula and a granddaughter of the Emperor Augustus. It also says that she was a proselyte to Judaism, being among the women of higher classes over whom the Jewish religion exercised considerable influence. The Gospel of Matthew, chapter 27. Glory to you, Lord. Now at the festival, the governor was accustomed to release a prisoner for the crowd, anyone whom they wanted. At that time, they had a notorious prisoner called Jesus Barabbas. So after they had gathered, Pilate said to them, "Whom do you want me to release for you, Jesus Barabbas, or Jesus, who is called the Messiah?" For he realized that it was out of jealousy that they, the Jewish authorities, had handed him over. While he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent word to him, "Have nothing to do with that innocent man, for today I have suffered a great deal because of a dream about him." The Gospel of Christ.
Praise to you, Lord.
He insists that I have to come with him every year for the festival. So we came about a week ago to Jerusalem. What festival? Well, the Passover, a Jewish feast time. I guess I should be happy here. It's beautiful enough. The walls are marble, the floors paved with mosaics, and everywhere I turn I see fountains and gardens. I hear the cooing of white doves. And if I want tea, I can drink it from a silver cup. But I don't like it. This palace is haunted by the blood-stained ghost of Herod's court. And when I say that, Pilate laughs at me. He thinks I'm crazy, but I can feel them all around me. From up here on my balcony, I can see all the open spaces of Jerusalem. All week, there have been people. A stream of Jews flowing into their holy city. Pilate's afraid of them. Well, maybe not afraid, but when you get that many Jews together, he says trouble starts. When we rode into Jerusalem last week, he sighed to me and said, "I wonder what new troubles will break out this year." You see, he didn't get started out too well with the Jews. When Caesar appointed him procurator, Pilate didn't know anything much about them. And frankly, he didn't care either. He wouldn't take down the Roman eagles off the flag standard. The Jews hated them, called them idols. And when the city needed water, Pilate built an aqueduct. And that was right. But to pay for it, he took the money out of the temple treasury. And that was not right. Well, I woke up last night and Pilate's bed was empty. I called to my servant and she said he'd gone down to the judgment hall. That's part of the tower erected by the Herod the Great. It's up that way, in the upper city in the northeast. I knew he wouldn't have gone in the middle of the night if there hadn't been trouble. We knew it was coming. The captain of the 12th Legion was here last week before we got unpacked, and he was going in last night. Last week he told Pilate the town was seething, and last night he reported a plot to arrest Jesus at the Passover time. When the captain said the Sanhedrins were behind the plot, Pilate turned white. See, last year he broke into the temple, took Roman soldiers right into the temple, and with their swords they mixed Jewish blood with the blood of the lambs they were sacrificing. A terrible riot broke out. Pilate learned, yes he learned, you can only push the Sanhedrin so far. When they discovered Pilate reports directly to Caesar, not to the Roman Senate, they threatened to tell Caesar. They did not last year, but they will this time. Blackmail, that's what it is. When I finally fell back to sleep, I had this terrible dream. Do you believe in dreams? Well, the night for me is a time of enchantment, a time for mystery. It's a time for fever in my mind, and a time to think when a person can be reached by God. I believe in dreams. Another Roman woman, during the Ides of March, had a dream. Julius Caesar's wife, Calpurnia. She saw her husband before her, and he was covered in wounds and streaming with blood. And Calpurnia begged him not to go to the Roman Senate, but he went, and he was assassinated. Yes, I believe in dreams, all right. In my dream, I saw the face of Jesus. How did I know it was his face? Oh, I know him. I saw him on the Via del Rosa one day last week. Crowds pressing all around him. They were singing Hosanna, and they were waving palm branches. And right below his balcony, I saw him take a blind man by the hand, draw him to his feet and send him on his way. And the man could see. And when I looked around, I could see that man Jesus, in the eyes of every blind man. I've been lying awake a lot since then. I must admit, that got to me. I felt like I could go down and follow him too, but I didn't. Why not? Well, look at my clothes. Clothes are by no means flimsy when it comes to erecting barriers between man and man. Besides that, I'm no Jew. I'm a Roman woman, and of course Pilate's wife. No, it would never do. Still, sometimes. But the dream, something in the dream was threatening. Behind the face of Jesus, I could see my husband's face, all blurred and twisted. And when I woke up again, my pillow was wet with tears and my body damp with sweat. And I got up at once and wrote a note to Pilate, pleading with him not to have nothing to do with that man. I told him about my dream and I signed it Claudia, for he alone calls me that. And I called a soldier and sent him to Pilate in the Tower Hall of Antonia. Then there was nothing to do for me to wait. So I came out here on my balcony, I called for a brazier of coals, and I've been standing here in this ghastly darkness trying to get warm. Even my tears are ice. But I'm afraid it's too late. A while ago I heard the hobnailed sandals of the Roman troops clattering down the rocks, and I saw the lanterns bobbing at the end of poles. We are lost, Pilate and I. Somehow we've lost ourselves. But I will put scarlet on my lips, because if I'm pale, the Jews may think that I, the Roman Claudia, am pale with fear. We had better go from this place, straight into hiding. Well, we haven't the time. Oh, I'm so cold. Somehow I know I shall never do home again.